If you've ever gone online or walked into a garden store, you know how expensive soil test kits can be. They promise instant results, but the truth is, many of them give only surface-level readings and leave you buying more amendments than you really need. Now here's the shocking part. Amish gardeners who grow some of the healthiest produce in North America don't use soil test kits at all. Instead, they use a simple trick passed down through generations that gives them a clearer understanding of soil fertility than any store-bought kit. It costs nothing, requires no fancy gadgets, and it's rooted in deep observation of how the soil, plants, and natural materials interact. Stick around, because this hack will save you money, help you build better soil, and change the way you garden forever. Amish gardeners use plant indicators to read the soil. The Amish don't rely on pH strips or chemical kits. Instead, they look directly to the plants growing in the soil to tell them what's happening beneath the surface. This practice is centuries old and is still reliable today. Certain weeds and volunteer plants act as live indicators of soil health. For example, if sorrel or dock is thriving in your garden bed, it usually means the soil is too acidic. If clover is popping up everywhere, it's a sign that nitrogen levels are good because clover is a nitrogen fixer. Plantain often grows in compacted soils with poor drainage, while lamb's quarters show up where fertility is rich. Amish farmers keep mental notes of these natural signs and adjust their soil building accordingly, long before they plant a crop. The method works because plants can only thrive where conditions suit them. By learning what each indicator plant reveals, you essentially have a living soil test right in front of you. And unlike test kits that give a number but no context, this approach also tells you how soil behaves season after season. Another part of the Amish method is using texture tests done entirely by hand. Take a handful of damp soil and squeeze it. If it forms a tight ribbon that doesn't break, it's heavy clay with poor drainage. If it falls apart immediately, it's sandy and will struggle to hold nutrients. A loamy soil, which is ideal, forms a loose ball that crumbles under light pressure. Amish gardeners do this simple test during spring preparation and after heavy rains. The advantage here is obvious. Instead of spending money on kits to tell you water holding capacity or texture ratios, your own hands give you the answer. And once you know your soil type, you can amend wisely, adding organic matter like leaves and manure for sandy soils, or gypsum and compost for dense clays. One of the most reliable Amish checks is digging a square-foot section of soil about 6 inches deep and counting the worms. If you find fewer than 3, your soil life is struggling. If you find 5 or more, you're in good shape. More than 10 and your soil is thriving. Unlike a chemical kit that can't measure biological activity, worms reveal the living heartbeat of soil. This test is so simple, you can do it in less than 10 minutes and it's free. The ratio Amish gardeners aim for is consistent worm presence across all beds, not just in compost piles. If worms are missing, they respond by adding manure, mulching heavily, or creating cover crops to restore the biology. A vinegar and baking soda trick is used for quick pH checks. So, here's what you do. Take 2 soil samples in small jars. In the first one, add some vinegar. If it fizzes, that means your soil is alkaline. Now in the second jar, add a little water to make some mud, and then sprinkle baking soda right on top. If that one fizzes, your soil is acidic. If there's no reaction in either jar, well, your soil is pretty close to neutral. This test, honestly, isn't about exact numbers, it's more about getting a sense of direction. If the soil leans acidic, Amish gardeners usually add wood ash or maybe some crushed limestone. If it seems more alkaline, they'll bring in leaf mold or pine needles. The amount is modest, usually just a thin quarter-inch layer per season, because they really prefer gradual correction instead of any drastic swings. That way, the soil is gently steered back to balance without shocking the system. For the Amish, plants themselves are honestly the ultimate soil test. They don't wait around for kits to tell them if potassium is low. Instead, they just look at their corn leaves. If the edges are yellow and scorched, potassium deficiency is obvious. Pale green lettuce or stunted cabbage heads tell them nitrogen is lacking. And blossom end rot on tomatoes? That points to a calcium imbalance. They treat every season as a learning cycle. For instance, if sweet corn shows potassium stress, the following autumn they'll spread wood ash at a rate of about 10 pounds per 100 square feet. If beans look stunted, they'll fold in rotted manure or plant clover in rotation. Each crop becomes a diagnostic tool, and the correction is applied in ratios tested over generations. Once the Amish gather results from plants' texture worms and quick kitchen checks, they don't rush to buy amendments. Instead, they adjust how much compost or manure is applied. If fertility is weak, a full inch of compost is laid across the bed. If things look balanced, only half an inch is added as a top dress. Manure, when used, is never dumped fresh but always well rotted and applied lightly, no more than a half-inch layer at planting time, so that soil life can incorporate it without burning roots. This careful adjustment is why Amish gardens rarely suffer from nutrient overload, something that often happens when store-bought test kits convince us to keep adding more fertilizer than plants can use. The biggest advantage of this hack is financial. Soil test kits may seem small in cost, but over years, buying replacements and shipping samples to labs adds up. The Amish method avoids all of this. More importantly, it emphasizes biological health over chemical readings. Worms, weeds, and plant responses reflect the living condition of soil in a way that numbers on paper cannot. For gardeners, adopting even part of this method means relying less on external inputs and more on observing what the soil itself communicates. It's a practice that builds connection and teaches patience while keeping money in your pocket. The best way to apply this method is, honestly, step by step. Start this weekend by pulling a handful of soil, give it a squeeze, and see where it falls on the sandy to clay spectrum. Next, just spend about 10 minutes observing which weeds are showing up in your beds and look up what they indicate. Dig one small section and count your worms. Finally, try the vinegar and baking soda trick with soil from different corners of your yard. By combining all these observations, you'll build a profile of your soil that's far richer than a single store-bought test could give. From there, adjust slowly. Add an inch of compost to weak beds, sprinkle a thin layer of ash where acidity rules, or seed clover where nitrogen is low. Keep records, and over time you'll see your soil improve season after season, without spending on disposable kits. Amish gardeners remind us that soil really doesn't need to be overcomplicated. The earth speaks through the plants that grow on it, the worms that tunnel through it, and the way it feels in your hand. By trusting these signs, you not only save money but also connect more deeply to your land. The Amish have shown that healthy, abundant harvests don't depend on constant purchases, but on careful observation and small, steady corrections. So next time you think about ordering another soil test kit, pause and look to your soil itself. It may already be telling you everything you need to know. If this guide has opened your eyes to a new way of gardening, don't forget to hit subscribe, share this with fellow growers, and join us here on HydroHaven for more timeless, practical ways to build living soil that lasts.